across the bridges that I've burned. My only way to you is gone, the tide has turned. So give me a light, show me what I need. I know I'm blind, but I hear symphonies of your heartbeat.
So day 33 then, and I'm currently on a bus. The place I stayed last night was about 3 k's from my end point yesterday, so I'm having to make my way back there. So it'll be hopefully about a 6:30 start. Got good rest. I ate a lot of food yesterday, so I feel properly restocked, and legs kind of feel alright. Tendon issues sort of seems to have dissipated a lot, so touch wood, that will stay the same for the whole day. Today I go from Vukovar back into Serbia, heading towards a place called Bogojevo, but we're going to do a left and then go up to Apatin instead of going to Bogojevo, which was going to be my stop. Mainly because of accommodation, I couldn't find any, so I'm going to try and eat 30 miles in a single day today. And I've got Milos, a runner from Serbia, who is going to come and meet me at the border and then run with me, hopefully up to Apatin, which is great. And then he's going to join me again tomorrow. So I'm really now looking forward to that. I think I've got about sort of maybe 15 miles or something to the border, and then I'll have company. And yeah, I think that's just going to be such a lovely thing to help. It's going to be a long day, but having someone with you for those extra sort of final miles, I think, is going to be a big support. So that's a nice thing to look forward to. And then having his company to take me for the last leg of Serbia into the border at Hungary is also going to be a big bonus for me. So yeah, I mean, it's not so hot at the moment. It's sun's up. It's a nice kind of early start. Still got these baggies under my eyes that I'm now carrying as extra weight. The beard is coming along. I don't know, sort of overhanging the lip. Is it cheating to trim it? I don't know. But anyway, the spirits are fairly high this morning, and I'm looking forward to getting moving. Hopefully we'll be able to run with a certain amount of freedom, and yeah, and hopefully we'll get some nice runnable routes. You know, if it's like yesterday, it'll be great. Where I just sort of felt comfortable and very happy out there. But as ever, every morning you never really know what you're stepping out into, even though you've studied the maps. So anyway, get this bus down to the start and then we'll get moving.
Trapped inside, I forgot to look beyond. I see the other side. So give me a light, show me what I need. I know I'm blind, but I hear symphonies of your heartbeat. Now that's an understatement. To walk alone, I guess it's my repayment. Please give me a light, show me what I need.
So nearly 17 miles done. We're about less than a kilometre from the border again. Well, we're going to move back from Croatia back into Serbia. The short time in Croatia is finished, just one day. One little stint of running, which has been really pleasant. A nice city, really kind of well laid out. The roads haven't been too busy, and it's been nice running quite a lot by the river. You know, it's it's been good for the short time, but it's over already, and that'll be the third country ticked off. And yeah, back into Serbia for a bit, just for one more day, well, one more stretch this afternoon, then one more day tomorrow, and then we're off into Hungary. But running today has been pretty good momentum. I'm at the 5 miles an hour I like to hit, maybe a bit faster. And the other side of the border, I'm going to meet Milos, and he's going to run with me into Apatin. And yeah, looking forward to that. A little bit of a change, someone to chat to, and hopefully that will make those last sort of 13 or whatever it is, I don't know how many miles left, go a little bit easier. So yeah, let's go get across the border first though.
But I hear symphonies of your heartbeat.
Back up on the bridge again, crossing back to Serbia twice in one day. This is a smaller bridge, got a little bit of industrial stuff going on over this side. Still magic though, still my happy place. So the end of day 33, then day 33 has turned out to be one of the better ones. After a little tricky start getting to my start point, I had to get a bus. Actually, the exit from Vukovar was great. And when you have these kind of starting points where you're running right next to the river, the sun's coming up over the other side, you know, the water shimmers, they're just lovely. And they immediately kind of fill you with a little bit of hope for what's to come with the run. And you just feel better starting like that and running out of the city. I mean, it got a bit grubby a bit further along, you know, sort of miles 3 to 10 weren't particularly great, but eventually broke out onto these kind of, again, this sort of big, long, straight main roads. There wasn't too much traffic, and just managed to get my head down and head for the border. And with really good momentum, ate up the miles, legs felt good, none of the tendon issues, and just dropped into quite a sort of happy pace. I've been running the whole thing entirely almost on feel, you know, one sense of kind of feel for effort, but also one sense of feel for how the legs are, how the tendons are, how all the little joints are, how, you know, all, you know, really got to dial in to listening to my legs and my feet and my body and the pack and all of that kind of stuff. So there's sort of two measures that I look at. And actually today I just managed to sort of settle in really nicely, really quickly. And I think, you know, it definitely helps sort of knowing that once I hit the border, that the other side, Milos was going to be waiting for me. So Milos is a Serbian runner. He's 17 years old. I didn't realise that. I spoke to him for 2 hours, and I think he had such a wise head on his shoulders that I assumed he was much older. Until he realised, he sort of announced later on into the run that he wasn't able to get into the exit festival yet because he was too young. So it was a bit of a surprise for me. But I knew Milos was waiting the other side of the border. And that's always, well, you know, it's something halfway to break it up, and you knew you were going to have company after that. As it happens, you know, the border crossings are always great. I had a really good long chat with the border guards who sort of said to me they'd not seen anyone come through on foot before like this in 26 years. So, you know, that was but it was quite fun with the Croatian and the Serbian border guards. Both came together and were chatting to me about it. That was quite a sort of fun moment because normally they're sort of quite separate, but they're all interested. And then sort of set off back into Serbia. So my visit to Croatia was pretty brief, but it was beautiful. I loved the running in Croatia. It was through lovely villages. The roads were nice and sort of quiet. There was plenty of actual paths and, you know, more kind of infrastructure. Got to run next to the river quite a lot, and Vukovar was a lovely town to be in very briefly. And then today back into Serbia, just ran lots of nice sort of country roads basically. You know, they're all sort of fairly main roads, but again, the traffic sort of pulses at not a kind of crazy frequency, so you can relax a bit. And I had one decision to make, which was there is two, Eurovelo 6 splits into two. There was one route that went on the Dyke Road, so these kind of more kind of wild dike roads that run close to the river along with the embankment, or there was another Eurovela which took the kind of the main road. Now, this came at about, it must have been sort of mile 20 or something, just before I met Milos, and essentially I'd run out of water. There was no water. Leaving Vukovar, I'd run sort of 20 miles only on sort of 2 bottles, didn't pass any shops, and so the dike road was going to be an extra 5 miles on the total for today, which was already going to be 33 going the main road. It would have gone up to 38 without water for that stretch, and it was starting to get hot. It looked like a big risk to take the long route, so we basically just went up the main road where we knew there was a town within 5 miles. I've had to make some of those decisions, and I think it was definitely the right decision in terms of the longevity of the project and about, you know, just being safe in the heat and making sure we had enough water. By the time I got to the town, I was pretty desperate. I drained all my bottles. I picked up more. And then just great fun running with Milos, really. We had a brilliant chat, and yeah, really interesting guy. He's going to come with me tomorrow as well, and the following day, so he's going to basically help me to the border. And yeah, it was just really lovely to have someone sort of padding alongside you, chatting, taking your mind off what you're doing. And it made the final sort of 10 miles feel really much easier than they would have been otherwise. So yeah, we arrived in where I am now, which is a town called Apatin, and this is a lovely town. It's one of the, you know, I've stayed in some towns that aren't necessarily so nice. This one's got a good feel to it. You know, where I'm staying is close to all the shops and all that kind of stuff. When all of that stuff connects as well, and you can sort of finish, you know, where you run, sort of walk into your accommodation, come out, get to the shops, and then in the morning step out of your accommodation and start running on the route again. That's really nice. It didn't happen yesterday, but it hasn't always happened. It was a really nice one today. We could get there. Milos also stopped just about sort of half a k down before we finished and bought a whole watermelon, which we chopped up on the side of the road and ate. I mean, this watermelon is twice the size of my massive head. So yeah, we basically gorged ourselves on watermelon. He also bought me one Yellem Pivo, which is the local beer here, because it's brewed in this town. So we had one of those. So people in the shop where we bought the beer found out what I was doing. They also gave us free chocolate and another free drink. So it's been a great day, really, and spirits are pretty high. I've got a shorter day tomorrow, just got 25 Ks, so it could start a little bit later. Hopefully it's not going to be so hot. Should be done early, and then we'll have one more day to hit the border and leave Serbia and finish our 4th country. So yeah, making really good progress and feeling as strong as I think I could have hoped to feel at this stage, really. So yeah, all things are positive. After a few days where the tendons were a bit of a worry, I now feel back in good spirits, and if I can run, you know, another week like I ran today, then, you know, it'll be a really, really solid thing, and we're starting to edge closer to sort of, you know, I'm not going to say it. No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not saying it. If we run just one day at a time, if I run tomorrow like I ran today, I'll be a happy boy. So yeah, anyway, I better go and get some sleep so that can have a chance of happening. But yeah, I will see you all tomorrow, and thanks as ever for the support.